over to the far side of the track for this women's 5,000 metres. It's a race won by the Ethiopians on 6 occasions, only once by a Kenyan. The East Africans do dominate the lineup, of course. 12.5 laps of the track, and there are several steeplechasers in this race this evening who are just having a little run out over the flat. I always think that there should be quite a strong correlation between steeplechase and 5,000. They're both tough events, but not many steeplechasers really focus upon the flat enough, in my opinion. Helen Obiri there, the Rio Olympic silver medalist at 5,000, has a fabulous speed and strength combination. She's a world-class 1,500 metre runner as well. She's run 3:57. She starts here as favourite, I think. She lost at the Van Damme meeting in Brussels at the end of last year to Ayana, who ran 14:18 over 5,000. There is Teferi, another name to watch, Esenbere Teferi, the World Championship silver medalist in 2015. So we have the Olympic silver medalist against the World Championship silver medalist. Etinesh Dironida was 5th in the steeplechase in Rio, 4th in Brussels in 2016. Vastenberg is in this lineup, Jut Vastenberg of the Netherlands. Krauser, chatting to her yesterday, Geisa Felicitas Krauser of Germany, who is better known as a steeplechaser, the World Championship bronze medalist from 2015, said she's having a rare run out here for 5,000 metres. In fact, just reminding myself, I think she said this is her debut at 5,000 metres on the track. Well, it's a warm evening. The temperature as we came on air was around 24 degrees centigrade, and the humidity is high. There's hardly any breeze in the arena, as we've seen from those wind readings in the sprints. Pacemakers, Smartest Tverdrup, the light blue nearest the camera with the blonde hair, will take them out for the first 2.5 laps, the first kilometre. In about 2:52, that's the target. That is about 14:30 tempo. And then Callie Thackeray of Great Britain is due to take them through to 2,000. Thackeray in the yellow there in second place. Asefa right at the back of that leading group. Sophia Asefa was the Olympic silver medalist in the steeplechase in London, what, all of 5 years ago now. She's back in about 10th place at the moment. But Will Obiri here show the steeplechasers how it's done. He's a wonderfully consistent athlete, great turn of speed, world indoor champion over 3,000 back in 2012 in Istanbul. And they're moving along nicely now, and it's good to see the pacemakers in first and second, and the field more or less in touch with them. A big field too. There's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 athletes in that pack behind the two pacemakers. A couple of athletes just beginning to struggle a little bit already. Guide looks very smooth there with the pink knot in her hair. Letzenbet, excuse me, Guide. She was World Junior Cross Country Champion in China in 2015. Best of 14:45. Once you get below 15 minutes, you're really knocking on the door of world-class territory at the women's 5,000 metres. Don't let's forget that that's world record for the ladies over 5,000. Just to put things in perspective, by Tirunesh Dibaba from 2008 is 14:11. But then if you saw that wonderful world record over 10,000 by Ayana of Ethiopia in Rio last year, you'll probably work out that it can probably come down a fair bit from that, I think, and Ayana might be the lady to do it. Still, Tverdrup taking them through. Had a nice lick here. Good to see the athletes respond. Obiri, the favourite, is in third place, who leads the main pack. Strange arm carriage of the athletes in fourth place as they come into the straight.
They're coming into the 1,000 metres, so we'll have some idea, but that original pace was at, they need to go through here around about 2:52 or thereabouts to get them on schedule for about 14:22 in the overall, and they're dead on schedule for 1,000 metres. That is 14:22 pace. So they've pushed it a little bit there. Obiri, of course, has got a terrific finish, we know that, and all the principles are sitting in there, and the pace is just about right at the moment.
The athlete I referred to in fourth place, as we see them now, is Teferi, who has that strange arm movement. She doesn't move them up and down at all. They just swing around her her chest. Looks awkward, but whatever works for you is pretty much the mantra, I think, for distance runners. They put in so many thousands of miles of training every year. They've just got to do it with a style and a form that they are comfortable with, not what other people think is right. So, Twerdestrup beginning just to stride out now. Kelly Thackeray might have quite a task on her hands here to lead this second kilometre. 2:52.9, that first kilometre clocking. She's gone well over 3 laps of Twerdestrup, the Ukrainian. 37 years old now. She's a 2-minute 800-metre runner herself, all of 13 years ago. Thackeray hits the front, goes through there in about 4:04.
Yeah, just slightly down on that last circuit. In fact, just takes them outside of the schedule I mentioned before, but nevertheless the real racing is yet to come. And we shall see who is prepared to take this on and push it along.
Well, we're looking for 69 seconds per lap. There's an element of bunching there just behind them. Still Guide, the tall figure there in the pink, just to right centre of picture. Lovely looking runner, actually. She is the World Junior Cross Country champion, and tall as well. You compare that with the slightly hunched-shouldered style of Helen O'Beary and that awkward arm movement I've alluded to from Teferi in second place now, as Thackeray has gone. And, well, she only led, frankly, for about 250 metres. Didn't really contribute a great deal, Kelly Thackeray, I'm afraid. She's supposed to have tried to lead them to 2 kilometres, so should have been in there for another lap at least. As O'Beary takes them through now with 8 laps to run, and it is beginning to whittle down now. I just sense that O'Beary has lengthened that stride a little bit. She's got a very high heel lift behind her, as O'Beary. Nice looking performer, albeit with that slightly hunched-shouldered style. Moves well, does Guide in third place, doesn't she? Looks very relaxed and smooth compared with the two in front of her. There she is, long legs, strides up alongside Teferi, and past her indeed. And Chepkirui, that is, in fourth place on the inside, now in fifth, as these 5 get away. 5:47, 2:54, that's
beyond Milanov.
Well, these 5 are well away. The gap behind them probably about 30 metres. It is still the pre-race favourite Helen O'Beary who makes them work.
Right, the pole vault, very, very interesting indeed, because we have a situation, well, and with Milanov, there's the leader in the discus. Sorry about that jumping across, but we've still got Hendricks and Milanov, the 2 winners of those 2 events, to catch up on.
Well, back to this 5,000, it would seem, with a few laps to go yet. Still O'Beary from Guide, the youngster, who is in second place, only 19 years old. These 3 just beginning to ease away. It is Teferi in third place. Behind them, Kipkirui and Chepkirui. Now trying to get back on terms with this leading trio. 6 laps to run. O'Beary doing it the hard way, doing all the work, acting in fact as a sort of a perfect pacemaker for the 2 ladies behind her, dogging her heels. And Guide very focused, the youngster in the pink, is hanging on well at the moment. Her personal best for 3,000 weight for it is 9:04. Well, she's going to smash that tonight en route to this 5,000 time, whatever time she ends up doing. Teferi looks nice and relaxed, doesn't she? On the shoulder of O'Beary, who loses the lead for the first time. Now, if you're going to go past somebody like that, there's only a point in doing it if you really get your head down and put in a slight surge and test them. Otherwise, you might as well sit in behind them, let them do the work. The psychological and physical work of leading. And she hasn't accelerated. In fact, it was Teferi, they're trying to slow it down because O'Beary goes straight past her. She only led for about 60 or 80 metres. And I think that has probably told O'Beary what she needed to know. Work hard. Let's test this lady Teferi, Senbere Teferi, the World Championship silver medalist, remember, in third place from Beijing 2015. Teferi might have just let the cat out of the bag and given O'Beary the information she needs, that she's tiring. And it's only the youngster Gide who's able to go with her in second place. Really hanging on well. He's got real composure. The tall Ethiopian 19-year-old in second place.
Well, there's certainly a maturity there that has to be admired, certainly. I mean, she is a youngster, as you said. She's only 19. World cross-country champion in the junior race a couple of seasons ago, just to emphasise that. She really is a talent, 14.45. Well, these performances by the youngsters on this evening alone have been very, very impressive indeed. Abiri looks to me to be really hurting a little bit now, but she's still having that lead. They were just about 4 seconds off the schedule that we mentioned before, but let's see what happened in this last lap to see whether they've actually come back into the sort of schedule we were talking about 14.22, and I think they are going to be just 2 or 3 seconds outside that schedule, but still being maintained quite well.
4 laps to run. They went through 3,000 a little while ago in 8.41. That was another 5.47, so they've gone 2.52. Sorry, another 2.47, 2.52, 2.54, and then 2.47. So Abiri certainly did turn the screw, and it's done for the World Championship silver medalist there in third place to the right of picture. But she just cannot, at the moment at least, shake off this youngster. Letezen Bet. Excuse me, it's one of those words, one of those names. I'll call her Gide because that's her surname.
So he's in third place at the moment.
Well, for the first time, there's daylight. The youngster, Letezen Bet. I've had a little practice while she was talking. Letezen Bet. Gide there in second place has had to let the favourite go. And reward at last for Helen Abiri's determined front running through this middle and latter stages of this 5,000 metres. By the way, my maths was askew. They were 8.41 at 3,000. Massive personal best, by the way, for the youngster in second place. But that third kilometre was a 2.54. So they've gone 2.52, 2.54, 2.54. And now Abiri is really pouring it on. 2 laps to go this time. And Abiri, the Olympic silver. So Helen Abiri into the home straight for the penultimate time. There's 450 metres to run for the Olympic silver medalist. In second place now is Teferi, the World Championship silver medalist. And she hears the bell this time. And it's been a determined, strong run from Helen Abiri. Teferi in second place. Overtook Gide going into the back straight. The youngster just perhaps overextending herself through that 4th kilometre, which was a 2.52. So they've gone 2.52, 2.54, 2.54, 2.52, and this final kilometre, I'm sure, from Abiri will be strong as well. Look at the way she's punching the air there. The shoulders very hunched and tight. The stride length is strong. Maintaining the form so well. Lapping athletes now, indeed, over this 5,000 metre distance. And she has the quality, she has the speed, endurance to raise her game, despite the fact this is just her against the clock. How impressive is this? And watch the clock, by the way. It's going to be very quick indeed. The fastest time in the world this year for women's 5,000 metres was 15:11. She's going to take something like 45 seconds off that, because this is fabulously quick, and she's done so much of the work herself. Crosses the line as Helen Abiri, 14:22. Boy, oh boy, if she could only have had help through to halfway or even 3,000. Crossing the line in second, a long way back to Ferry there. And then the youngster Gide crosses now in about 14:37. That is a massive improvement for the youngster there. Gide, boy, she's just taken something like 10 seconds off her personal best. But Helen Abiri in very fine fettle indeed. She has a World Championships 1,500 metre medal from Moscow 2013. She has an Olympic silver medal from 5,000 in Rio. And that speed and strength look to be stored aplenty for the coming summer. That performance was awe-inspiring. 14:22 there. The winning time is confirmed at 14:22.47. It is a new world lead. It's not a meeting record, remember. That belongs to Ayana from 2 years back when she ran 14:14, nearly broke the world record, and she said after the race she didn't even know what the world record was. She had no idea she was within 2 or 3 seconds of Dibaba's best ever.
Yeah, it was a very impressive finish, wasn't it? She was so determined on that last couple of laps, particularly the last lap. She brought herself right back by about 4 seconds into that original schedule that we had at 14:22, and so it worked out that way, but she didn't have a great deal of help. The youngster stayed with her for quite a while, but really it was an individual piece of distance running, as we've seen so often from Obiri. Helen Obiri, silver medalist last year in this event, and maintaining some of that form now, and enjoying the moment, certainly.
Well, Obiri there, running a new personal best and doing so much of the front running herself. 14:22.47, ahead of Teferi and Guido, with Kip Kemboy and Kip Kirui in 4th and 5th. What a way to run a personal best at 5,000 metres. Such a tough event to get right.